Folks, good morning. It's Monday. I'm not going to get too close because I'd hate to disrupt this almost certainly live looking at the kit they've got outside a broadcast. Some of you might recognize the journalist, presenter, Sky News, BBC News, GB News, ITV News, Channel 4 News. I have no idea. I try to avoid most of them. He's talking about the challenges facing Andy Burnham, etc. Hopefully, one or two of you might be able to recognize him on which channel he's presenting for. Now, we're pretty far back compared to where we usually are, guys. Not just on a Monday, but full stop. We are way, 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 way back. Way back. And that's the Victoria Tower. Now, oddly enough, when we started in this roundabout area last week, yours truly got it wrong. St Stephen's Tower, I called it, which of course was the name of the Elizabeth Tower. Little mini group, which is kind of cute. And I've seen these before, actually, this big city mini. It's like a little tour group. I saw them when I was at Tower Bridge last week. You can hire them with a driver. And they're a great idea because they're very, very small. So even on those very narrow streets near to Tower Bridge, it's possible to squeeze through and be driven around. Beautiful light this morning, very, very nice light. Not too humid either. So I thought it wouldn't be a bad idea to start a little bit further back. There's quite a bit more gating, barriering, security than I remember actually along here. And that's a real pity because it used to be a hell of a lot more open. Millbank House here, and all of the buildings, in fact, along Millbank, in somewhere or another, one second, they're kindly waiting for me to cross, even though I'm busy chatting to you guys, in somewhere or another linked to government, lobbyists, the Labour Party, etc., etc. In other words, they all have a political function of some kind. There it is, Millbank SW1. Same postal code area as Victoria Station, as Horse Guards, as Downing Street, as Westminster Abbey, as, basically everything, including the Palace of Westminster. Now, you see what I mean about this funneling? Look, you see? And at the end it says footpath closed. Now, I'm not entirely sure if that means that you need to be squeezed, forced into the gardens, but more importantly, I can't remember if you do go in the gardens, whether or not it'll take you around the Palace of Westminster or down toward the river. Instinctively, I think it takes you down toward the river. And it's a pity because you used to be able to go right the way through. Another amazing spot, guys, very popular for a break from the chaos nearby, to settle down with your kids, friends, family, whatever, work colleagues, and enjoy. But the level of security is mind-boggling. Look at this. They closed off the entire entrance. It says here, route closures. They're saying it's due to repairs ongoing to the Victoria Tower. Those repairs are likely to be ongoing for potentially years, if not into a decade or more. In other words, because the Palace of Westminster is kind of falling apart, we're going to see more and more of this. Yes, it's partly for security, but a lot of it is because so many hundreds of millions of pounds need to be spent to shore up the building. And you can see the impact it has on local traffic. It's completely bonkers. But as long as our leaders and masters can get in and out without too much hassle, they don't really care. What a surprise. So we're going to walk past the broadcast and I'll show you very quickly the Jewel Tower. Jonas is gone, actually. That was a very quick outside broadcast, was it not? Oh. Try not to let pigeons fly into my face. It's actually pretty decent job, no, being a broadcast journalist. Camera's on for 3, 4, 5 minutes. You say your bit, go and have a break, some tea, some lunch, come back, repeat in the afternoon. In other words, it's an incredibly simple way to get to get paid. Anyway, that's more like it. Look at that, guys. There's an approach. That's why I walk so far back, because you can see Big Ben, the Elizabeth Tower, poking out just over there on the right. But more importantly, and we have seen it before, although not recently, is this. What is it, you might wonder? Well, that, folks, is the Jewel Tower. And it's the original remaining part of the original Palace of Westminster, would you believe? Yeah, I mean, they must have been pretty squished together in there when it came to voting time. It's a very small remnant of what would have been here before. Very small. But it's extraordinary because one, it kind of feels like the Tower of London in a way. Speaking of which, there have been proposals to refill the moat of the Tower of London. But this area and around it, easy to get down the steps. You can sit in the shade as people are doing over there, or get something in the cafe here. Point is, most of the time on these videos, we see the abject chaos. Westminster Station, Parliament Square, Whitehall, Downing Street, Horse Guards, etc. It goes on and on and on. However, there are these little quiet spots which are 5 minutes, 5-10 max walk from that chaos. In other words, this is the best place to kind of base yourself and then head in and out of the chaos as you wish. Architecture though here, especially with this morning's light and those blue skies punctuated with clouds, is magnificent, is it not? Absolutely outstanding. Just beyond is the Abbey. Palace Westminster from this side of the road, despite it being a little teeny weeny bit gloomy, is still a marvel. Now I'm hoping they won't be too fussy about me walking right along the front. I am on the public footpath, so even if they are, as I am walking along the public footpath, fundamentally, I'm not breaking any laws by filming where I'm filming. Now, recently, in the last week or so, somebody decided it was important to install a John entrance. Now, for some reason, they labelled it the Piers entrance. I don't know why. I can't go in this layout, guys, obviously, because I'm speaking to all of you. But that's where I'm allowed to go in. The Piers entrance. I mean, I wouldn't mind. I think they get, I can't remember, it's £300-400 a day. Is the allowance for the lords and ladies who sit in the upper chamber. And the extraordinary thing is they can claim that allowance even if they only turn up for 5 minutes and don't vote. They just need to put their name in the book. Bingo, £300-400 straight off every day if they want. Mad, eh? And that's why we get so many people that are happy to bootlick on both sides of the political spectrum, because ultimately they would all like a seat in the Lords. And that cushy life that awaits, subsidised food, subsidised drink, that daily allowance I just mentioned, and getting to work in a rather nice building. In fact, one of the few buildings that still flies permanently, the Union flag here in central London. Yeah. This is the entrance for visitors. But you see a lot of lobbyists coming out and parliamentary staff, because they often have the ability to invite guests. So like constituents, people that live and vote and work in the area that the MP represents. And yes, they're allowed to take them in and show them around. Incidentally, guys, if any of you are visiting London and want something great to do that is free, I've mentioned before things like Tower Bridge, and other places you can wander to and enjoy, museums and art galleries. But also, depending on what time of the year and whether it's in session, you can book yourself a ticket to go into the Palace of Westminster here. And get this, you can even go into the chamber itself, the chamber with all those green seats where MPs sit, shout at each other, and then go home. And it's quite a wonder. It's quite a wonder. It used to be open, the public gallery, so you could, in theory, shout or throw things at the MPs. I mean, you get thrown out if you did. But there was an incident, I can't remember how long ago, 20 years ago or so, somebody threw a powder into the chamber And obviously that changed everything. They put up this huge glass partition, which meant you're kind of fish tanked a little bit away from the proceedings. You can still hear everything, you can still see everything, but it's not quite as it once was, sadly. It's still worth doing it. I remember going to, in fact the last time, it was a long time ago, when Tony Blair was Prime Minister. And Robin Cook was Foreign Secretary. I can't remember how long ago we're talking, 95, 97, I don't even remember. Long time ago. Too long ago, in fact, guys. I think I'm going to cross and go along the Horse Guard side. I do like the way the red buses come around the corner here from Bridge Street, which leads on to Westminster Bridge, of course. It almost looks optically like they're coming into the camera. Here's another one, the original tour bus, Toot bus. Beautiful light today. Let's hope, everybody, that with the lifeguards being back, I mean, I'm not even sure if it's green. It's not actually, but so many people are walking. I'll just, I'll risk it because they'll get run over before me. Damn, look at that. You do see, more so than probably any other city I've ever been to, a very interesting range of unusual, expensive, exotic, rare, and quite colourful cars and other vehicles in London. We're under Mr. Churchill. Now you're probably wondering, hey, why is he taking his good old time this morning? I'll tell you. That's why. It's 11:25. I'm gloriously ahead of time, folks. Decided, as it's a nice day, as the light is great, to give you this pre-Horse Guards mini tour of London. Plus, I was going to introduce you to my best friend, Lionel Messi, who's over here in the blue shirt. Trouble is, his English is terrible and he's very, very, very shy. So that's going to have to wait for another day. Now, I've noticed two questions popping up very regularly on the main channel. Question one, where is Ormond? The answer is almost certainly at camp. Camp, the home of the Household Cavalry Mounted Regiment, which is over in Knightsbridge. Now, it's a funny thing because yesterday morning I was up early to watch a marathon. There was a marathon in Hyde Park, and I was up early to cheer some family members on. And as we'd finished and we're heading out to go and get something for brunch, I heard that familiar clippy cloppy sound. Don't get excited, it's not Ormond. It was the captain returning completely solo on horseback from Horse Guards, having conducted the morning inspection out the back. And that was an interesting thing to see because, I mean, yes, I've seen it dozens of times before at Horse Guards and even over at camp, but it was interesting because I haven't seen it for a long time, i.e. 6-7 months. And it's really good to see that the situation has improved somewhat in the sense that the captain is able to leave Horse Guards, ride through St James's Park, past Buckingham Palace, across Hyde Park Corner, into the park, and then down eventually back into barracks. The ride is, I guess, between 20 and 35 minutes ish, give or take, depending on how fast, you know, whether it's a little bit of a stroll or a brisk trot. But yeah, seeing the captain be able to do that, solo, completely alone, no backup, no police, no anyone, as it should be, in fact. So it tells me that things might slowly get better, return to normality with the security situation. And that would also mean things like, potentially, the massive amount of barriering. I've got myself jammed here, what on earth? Might get reduced or eventually even removed once things completely settle down there, and there are no ongoing global conflicts in which the UK is directly or vicariously involved. So yes, no Ormond, but he's almost certainly over at Hyde Park. He hasn't been retired. And the other question that comes up a lot, where are the twins, the twin lady troopers? Now, Lifeguards, Blues and Royals, 2 regiments together under the umbrella of the Household Cavalry Mounted Regiment. The regiment has 2 sides. It has the Household Cavalry Mounted Regiment, and it also has the armoured side. Household Cavalry, I can't remember actually, I think HCA is Household Cavalry Armoured, I think, don't quote me on that. Anyway, armoured side, tanks, warfare, etc. The more hands-on, shall we say, and no horses, down at Bulford in Wiltshire. So after every member of the regiment has done a year as a ceremonial King's Guard at Horse Guards, they automatically get sent to Bulford. After that year at Bulford, several things can happen. They can be promoted. They can be sent out abroad somewhere in the field, further training, specialised warfare training, jungle conditions, desert conditions, Arctic conditions, etc., etc. You get the idea. Or they can volunteer to come back and do ceremonial again. But the ceremonial return is never mandatory. In other words, after that first year, they don't ever have to come back unless mandated to do so for a specific reason by a senior officer. In other words, it's a year, done and dusted, gone. That's why we see so many new faces. It's not because everyone's joining HCAV, doing a bit of guard duty and quitting. It's because they rotate. So every year think of it as being like the horses, every year there's a new intake of fresh faces. So sometimes, yes, we do get returnees. Typically, as we saw recently with one particular lady guard, the returnee will be of a higher rank. They would have left as a trooper to go to Bulford. They will come back as a Lance Corporal. Lance Corporal being the lady or gent that typically comes out, collects, as it were, the horses, gives the verbal commands for the dismount in the yard before the horses return to the stables. So that's why a lot of you are probably thinking, hold on a second, where are all of my favourites? When are they going to be back? The honest answer is probably never, realistically. They look like a protest for a second, but there's no way he would have got that close through the outer gate to the little inner sanctum before the main gate. Damn, it's a bit chocker here. So lifeguards back this morning, they should pretty much just about be entering the boxes now. Actually, it's 11:31, or if not, then very, very, very shortly. Today's also the first day that we begin the ascent, yet again, what a surprise, toward a new heat dome, guys. Tomorrow, 32, Wednesday, 34, 35 again. Can you believe it? However, it could be worse. To my great shock, thinking about a quick trip to Switzerland, it's 38 degrees in Zurich this week. Like, what? It's utterly mind-boggling. Oh, somebody's got a little guard's teddy, little man there on the left. That's the cabinet office here. Next stop, Horse Guards. Now, based on what we saw up at Parliament Square, what I saw on the tube, and more importantly, how many people I saw getting off the tube to go to museums, which are still super popular in South Kent, because that's probably London's greatest free destination. You can go and spend pretty much the entire day. You've got the Natural History Museum, Victoria and Albert Museum, Science Museum, and tons of other little bits and pieces. You've also got the Royal Albert Hall, Hyde Park, and tons of little cafes and restaurants and bistros and the rest of it. In other words, although it's the Frenchy capital of central London, South Kensington is a fantastic cheap day out if you've got 3, 4, 5 kids and you're on a budget. Because even if you've got 3 or 4, 5 kids, and I know not many people have, but a lot do, it's going to be a couple of hundred just to eat. So it's understandable that people try to do or to choose activities that don't cost a fortune. Okay, so the lifeguards are back. And an awful lot this morning is going to depend on which lifeguards we've got and the kind of approaches that they take. Now, the crowd is pretty sizable for such an early start. Not entirely certain which troopers we've got. I know which troopers I'm hoping we might see on today. Very happy to see this gent for a start. Very happy to see some familiar faces in the MOD in the yard as well. Now, I seem to remember from last week, I know a lot of you like this trooper because he's very no nonsense. I seem to remember there were no issues at all when he was on last week. He was actually I was going to say one of the only, that's not fair. He was the main lifeguard that kept the box super clear, like most of his Blues and Royals colleagues. So immediately you can see he's looking down at the gent. I mean, luckily the camera's showing his feet. He was barely touching the line. She just jigged the signs a little bit. A lot of people think that they're actually fixed back against the wall as opposed to hanging. In other words, that they can't be removed. So people often touch them thinking that, hold on, they're fixed. They're not, obviously, because they need to be taken down. They'd certainly be defaced if they were left open, left hanging, sorry. The same if the boxes were left open overnight. Okay, so Bro's just going to get in the back of this lady's picture. She's like, bro, can you get out of my picture? And now another one. Need to be quicker because everyone wants to stand there. You can't really expect everyone to stay out of the way for like, a few minutes while you get the perfect shot. Blondie's just about balancing directly on the line. Now bear in mind that this time next week we're going to be in August, a typical high water mark. You can see that this is the first full week. Let me just look at it. The first full week with all the British kids out of school.
1, 2. Ayo, look, mommy. You more close, more to left. 1, 2, cheese. Good, Vanessa. Good, dah. Correct.
Bang on. Here we go. Straight away, another one. Walk straight toward the horse. Now, luckily, as you saw, the guard gestured immediately, which, to be fair, is easy than just shouting in his face. Look, 2 more. Straight off. Get out of the box. She corrected herself quick on the ride. This is why, guys, it is frustrating and almost inexplicable when we have a trooper that won't say or even make gestures at all and lets everyone into the box. If this guy can do it without even saying a word, so can the rest. Look, again. Something off there. Remember last week when we had that guy in green, who I immediately said looked a bit off. Okay, his friend corrected him. He was in the box. The guy on the left is not anymore. The way that it ends up looking strange is if somebody's wearing way too much clothing when it's really hot. Because ultimately, why would you be wearing a hoodie and or covering or trying to cover your face with a mask or via your body language unless you were up to no good? Damn, I think Bro just got out of prison. Like, what the hell is that? Hello, tourists. Is the lady with the pink hair going to come over? The thing is, I don't actually know if the remaining band of Blues and Royals already rode out or whether they're just about to. I'm trying to keep an eye on the stable doors, because if they do open, I will probably dash through into the yard. Probably, not certainly. Okay, this is Mitch from Massachusetts. Who is either current law enforcement or ex-military or both. He's a retired police officer. It's in the body language, in the approach, everything. You know, he speaks respectfully, gets a response, and then asks another question. The question was, how long are you here on duty? As you heard, the hour. The scary part is, despite getting here generally quite a bit early, actually, than I typically choose to, already a line of spammers. Can you imagine, folks? What time do these people get here? When the horses come out at 10 or what? She's hoping for a Mitch type response. I don't think it's going to happen. Okay, we have Viaggi Studio just turned up on the left, which is a popular Italian tour group. Let's hope that this group don't take the same approach to Britain and British culture here in London as a recent famous Italian group did to Thai culture when they went on that little trip to Bangkok. Ended up looking totally stupid when the video went viral, and they had to make a very embarrassing public apology led by their humbled teachers and tour guides. It's only a matter of time, I'd say, guys, until we have something similar here. Not sure if it'll be the Chinese government apologising, but hopefully a government. But even the Italian government, Italian foreign minister, I believe, also apologised on behalf of all Italians, and rightly so. So let's hope they don't mess us about and upset things here today. Police are marching to the front. I don't know if there's an issue at the other end. Curiously enough. Oh, this guy just came out of the shower. Bro. I admire that, actually. Get out of the shower in your hotel. Just quickly wipe a towel over your head, straight out, without a comb or a brush. Carpe diem, folks. I mean, I can't actually stand any further back, because if I could... But I'm actually having to arc my shoulder back somewhat to get that angle. As somebody who's going to be visiting Italy this summer, and is obviously going to be very respectful when he does so, as I always am, definitely keep an eye for them taking the you-know-what. It's a pity, actually, we didn't get to speak to Mitch before he left. What the hell is this bro doing? Straight through the middle of the box. God didn't even bother wasting his breath because he's got headphones on. And I know, guys, yes, there might be neurodivergent reasons, but the point remains the same. If the horse ran forward and charged into him and he got injured, he's going to cry, isn't he? Oh. Whose fault would it be? His own. Okay, there's the group leader. She's like, you know what, I've had enough. Myself and my Viaggi Studio students are leaving. Allez, on y va. Okay, the Frenchies are leaving as well. So soon we'll have no Italians, They're all about to leave, and no Frenchies. See, they're Italians. They're all walking through the box. Look. See, they seem to forget. Actually, no, it's not fair. I mean, it's the Italians that can say to me, "Veni, vidi, vici," which, to be honest, is true. They did. Oh, Marcy almost got in trouble. The Chinese lady with the parasol. I think she's walking through the gardens of Versailles, as opposed to browsing a pile of horse shit in the sentry box. Oh, we've got Mitch Jr. I'm not sure that parasol girl is going to come over. I'm secretly hopeful because she's got a, I don't know, bodyguard, photographer, whatever with her. So she definitely wants the photo op. Is the horse going to have a meltdown? I mean, maybe. A lot of people in the yard are waiting to see if there's going to be a changeover, and there will be. Oh, parasol girl is right next to me. I'm not going to push the parasol out of the way, folks, because it's a nice frilly cotton parasol. It probably costs lots of money. Okay, the perfect beanie for a visit to horse guards. You didn't tell me you're bringing your missus here today.
Yeah. It's John. This is Mrs. John.
Not my type, not my type. Cute, but not my type. Oh. It's getting proper busy again now. Oh yeah, I bet you do. Scoundrel. Oh, goodness me. I don't know what Bro's doing on the left. It's kind of like...
Pretty close.
Der Soldat macht jetzt 2 Stunden Dienst, aber das Pferd nur 1 Stunde. So bekommt der Soldat ein zweites Pferd für die 2. Stunde.
He's talking to you, by the way.
It certainly looks like it. This is why I turned the camera on. I can't speak German, so I don't know what she said, so I don't know how to respond.
She's saying, get closer to me. Is there a one-woman protest?
No, I mean, I think she's a tour guide. She's got a tour guide badge. TUI Cruises.
She's tough.
Nehmen Sie schnell ein Foto wie beim Banken.
Schneller.
Translate would be good, like earbuds, you know.
Somebody, yeah.
Okay, Kurs Nummer 7.
Okay, you're lost.
Folks, did she make an individual protest there, or is she
There
just
you go. She's
calling her tour group forward?
Gathering it together like a shepherd with a lost sheep.
Yeah. Damn, this lady's haircut, folks, look at that.
Wow.
That's fantastic.
Maybe she run out of red.
That's, yeah.
She's trying to dye it all red and then run out.
Got partly up. Okay, so they've schnellared. Oh, another lot here, just got sold off.
Walk around the box when you come here next year.
They've schnellared into the yard. Let's have a quick look, guys, actually, before they swap over shortly, who we've got at the other end. I think we probably, unless they're running super late, arrived just after the Blues had ridden out, because it's 12 minutes to. So they're either running proper late or they left a little earlier than usual. Actually, they are part of the same group. This is why the guy's like, hello to her. She doesn't care about needing to get back to Berlin. She's like, you know what? I want my pictures here in London with the horse. And then we can go back to Deutschland. Now, the trip at this end was a bit of a mixed bag last week. It doesn't actually matter. One, because I'm not staying at this end, and two, because in 9 minutes, they'll be changing over anyway. Meaning we're going to lose Super Trooper at the other end, and this gent to 2 new faces. Also, it's very chill. It's actually quite unusual compared to French, Italian and Spanish to hear German tourists, people speaking German here. This is why I shouldn't have moved, guys. Look how thick the crowd got since I popped off briefly to the other end. Giant Chinese group just turned up, busy drinking coconut water and blocking the public highway. I mean, we're kind of semi-trapped. Oh my goodness me. It's proper jammed, like big time. Oh my, oh my. It's like an actual squash, folks. I can't get any further left yet. I'll try in a minute. Damn, it's like a repeat of Saturday, guys. Look at it. Already? We've barely even begun, and no one's arrived from the palace yet because the guard train there only finished a short while ago. Bonkers, to be honest. I haven't seen exactly which MOD officers we've got. I've seen a couple of them, but they'll also be changing over on the hour. This is probably, if you're getting to see the lines meeting the wall, the very best spot to stand in, but it's awkward because so many people want to stand here for pictures, and to be honest, I think they do or should have priority over moi because they're visitors and they're not here frequently. He would have shouted, but she corrected herself. Another super duper group shot. Good stuff, ladies.
Hemen çekip gidelim bakalım. Bak şuradan şart. Hemen 10 saniye şöyle.
This morning at the front here would be an absolute paradise of pickpockets. There's absolutely no space to maneuver from where I'm standing right now, other than by walking forward into the box. As you noticed, almost everyone that's here this morning has a lanyard of some kind. In other words, they're all here as part of organised groups. I think we're going to see a lot of that leading up to the closure. And a lot of groups are going to be very disappointed when they start turning up here to find it all locked down. Massive dragonflies also flying over the horse's head. I'm not sure if you can see that. Oh my goodness me, wow. See how observant he is. They're not in the box, guys. They're doing a super job of just about making sure they're outside it. Bye-bye, horsey. I should know this horse simply because of that extremely unusual and glorious blaze, but I don't remember, folks. I'll leave it to you guys. Okay, this little group looks like they're about to enter a dance competition. It's going to be gang signs. It's almost like they know that the trooper here will shout at them. Actually really impressive, to be honest, to see how many people are able to go up without even looking at where their feet are and just miraculously end up bang in the right place. Now, I'm sure the mounted police are delighted this morning that there's nobody with a red bike having a tantrum in the yard. But it's still early, folks. There's plenty of time after the changeover for her to turn up. He was actually going to tell her to move back as well. She corrected herself, the little one. She's got something in cling film in her hand, which I'm pretty sure she'd love to give to the horse, but it ain't going to happen. No way will he let her. 4 minutes until the bell. I hope they're not expecting to get at the front of the line, sitting on the ground in the yard. They're going to miss it. He's got an RAF t-shirt, the young lad. I'm going to take a brief step back, guys, because I didn't think much of it when I first arrived, but we're about 15 minutes plus into the actual horse guards part of the video. And Bro here who's not filming, has been sandwiched in that spot with his hands clasped on the bollard for the entire time since I arrived. Definitely doesn't like the camera either. So, what do we think, guys? Innocent tourist? Look out for pickpockets? What do we think? Could be entirely innocent, but highly unlikely. Good thing is, if you want to pan around like this, and the main camera doesn't pick it up, the body cam does. And every time I turn it that way, he looks the other way. Okay, so box is open. Stableman doing it today. No sign of the big chief, so got no idea who's the man on the ground, army-wise. One of the super strict MOD officers is out there. Let's just put it this way, nobody's going to have difficulty hearing him when he speaks. Okay, they're starting to flood onto the line in the yard. I thought for a second that the trooper might bash into her. She stood right next to him as he was finishing up. It's not actually that chaotic at the front. I'm sure the horse just kicked the doors of the box. The thing is, you know, this is no offence to the trooper or any of his colleagues. Every time the stableman or stablewoman comes out and tells them to move back, it's a quick affair before the MOD take over. So tourists just ignore, and then look, as you can see, they're back over for pictures almost instantaneously. And strictly speaking, it's actually not the Army's purview either. It's the Ministry of Defence Police. Bearing in mind we're standing on the public highway and not on military property at this point. It really couldn't get any more complicated, could it, in terms of understanding the demarcation lines and who has authority where. He's still really trying, Bro here.
my lords! Let's change horses. Please make your way.
Damn, I did tell you. Flipping hell. I mean, look at what just happened. They all ran off pretty fast to form a line along Whitehall. You must be joking. No way. I've never seen the crowd scarper as quick as that. Not once. Brilliant.
有，因为他拉的时辰长了，还自己才记得。他拉的时辰长。
As it should be, no? The Chinese model at the other end didn't get the memo. They're still going forward at the other box. And there it is, guys. So much going to depend on who's up next in the box, specifically in this box. The flow from the yard to the front is going to be pretty dramatic after this changeover. I still can't quite see which two troopers we've got. Okay, this horse can't wait to get in the box. Okay, another no-nonsense trooper coming in at this end. Very much so. Lady Lance Corporal, I think. Yep. Now, I can't be absolutely certain, but I seem to remember there being no issues at this end. Instinctively, guys, I think the horse is tightest as well, by the way. Looking at the blaze, happy to be corrected. Proper jammed in here in the crowd. Genuinely surprising that they haven't swept the box, to be honest, as it's a proper mess. Okay, so they're finished in the yard. Bearing in mind it's Monday, the trooper unfortunately has got half the plume in his eye. And I'm going to use a sword to try and move it, but little point is a bit breezy at the front. Monday. So the most likely thing next is going to be an unhappy horse. I mean, they seem sure now. Let's see. Right, off we go, ladies and gents. I did say that I think instinctively that this particular trooper is fairly strict, but I honestly can't remember. We saw so many lifeguards in the past 2 to 3 weeks that I can't remember. We'll see. It's not going to take long to find out, considering the flood that's already leaving the yard. My goodness, did the officer manage to clear everybody super quickly from this side? Nice of this guy to actually ask before just assuming. We don't know how rare that is. So many flipping insects, wasps, dragonflies. Oh my goodness. That's quite the outfit, is it not, ladies?
Four-year-olds got better fun than me.
I thought he was going to back straight into the blondie. Interestingly, the guy next to me did vanish. Maybe he was just waiting for the guard change. That plume must be super annoying. It's like tickling your nose constantly. You can't do anything about it. Quite a civilized bunch so far this morning. Let's have a quick peek while it's quiet. Who's at the other box? And then I'll let the crowd decide as ever. Generally can't remember, actually, looking at this particular trooper. Yeah, I can't remember. That's the downside compared to the old days when we'd immediately recognise who was on, no matter which regiment it was, because every face was a familiar face. Now there's so many new faces that it's much harder. His body language screams strict though. Very slow start here at the front for a Monday morning, guys. I must admit, I'm surprised, very surprised. I say that, but again, it's only box side. Look at it. Look. X100 here, easy. I'm actually struggling again to find somewhere to stand. Oddly, somebody's playing music at the other side. Old-fashioned Polaroid. Love it. How are there this many people here, but almost no one, and you can see this as I pan around, almost no one is going, not even about the horse and the trooper, even close to the box. Oh.
Nee, daarom. Dus gewoon een vlak naast mij staan. Yeah.
When I look around and see them all chatting and standing and looking and stuff, I kind of wonder why they bothered to come to horse cards if they're not even doing what everybody used to do, which is being here to get pictures, etc. It's super strange these days how we get the same numbers, but so many less people want a picture with the horse. She's getting proper angry, this the lady in the bright dress. Good. It's funny for some reason, especially for a Monday, very few people are going anywhere near the box, let alone the horse. Very few. And when you have this many here, it doesn't make any sense. Super curious.
Not good for business.
Well, it's not about that. It's more about the fact that I wonder why they arrive here to do or to see what. You know, it's super odd, no? It's like a general crowd of spectators at a football match. And then they leave. It's very odd compared to how it was before. But fingers crossed, yeah, for you. And the most annoying part, guys, is that part one, despite being fairly uneventful, is almost at an end, probably due to the long introduction. Carries on this, I might just change it to Equine City Walks.
Böyle gidiyorum. Gelin gidelim şuraya.
We have to swap the regular camera for Insta 360 at this rate, because 90% of the action is behind me and to my side. Look at it. I mean, they're flipping 300 odd people here, if not more. Oh my gosh. I was actually joking about the situation with the red bike, but you know what? I probably shouldn't have done. You know why? Uh-oh. See you at the stable. Now, the interesting thing was, she did throw the bike down, but they didn't wait. The officers didn't wait. They didn't stop the horses and wait for her, like their colleagues did this weekend. I'm just seeing, actually. Oh my goodness me. Yeah, he's actually not joking about see you at the stable. Look, if I zoom right in, see that? She's zooming around there. She's going to take a left at the top and get to the stables before the horses. She's actually not joking. Oh my goodness me. Yikes, folks. The horse is not happy with the size of the crowd. There's a lot of people here right now. Sorry folks, I know I'm cutting the trooper's head off. Awkward to move the pole with so many people around. It's funny because, you know, there have been a few different eccentrics that have been here for several weeks and they've vanished, never to be seen again. And I always wonder what happens to them. Like, do they decide, hey, I've had enough, I'm not coming back, or do they get banned? Because that dropping of the bike on the ground is going to be the thing that's going to end up getting a ban. It's so crowded I can barely move back to give you a picture of people that are near. The horse is not liking this. Yeah, great job, bro. Oh my, oh my. I think the scariest thing actually is after the stables are done and the horses are back in, she's going to come back and wait for the next pair of police horses to come from Buckingham Palace. I guarantee it. I'm going to end this part one shortly, folks. Oddest start to a week that I can remember, in all honesty. Busier than even last Friday. But not in a good way. Let me back up. Absolutely bonkers. The thing is, with the bike, she can always beat the horses, whether or not cycling to the palace, cycling to the stables, getting over here to horse guards before they arrive in the tunnel. In other words, I don't know what the solution is. But that's the first time, I say the first time, we only saw it twice this weekend, that they just went straight around. So maybe the old dropping of the bike on the ground trick is not going to be tolerated. Anyway, guys, I'll be back shortly for another part, depending on what happens. But out of here for now. Okay, so we're back. It's, I don't even know how to describe it. It's oddly, very oddly chaotic here this morning. Tons of people, like more than the place can ordinarily accommodate, but just an absolute, no one knows what they're doing, where they're going, or anything else. It's super disorganized. And I think that might be what ultimately sets the horse off. Hopefully not, but it would not surprise me. And we've got tons more super colourful people and groups and so on emerging from the yard as the first palace lot start to arrive. In the first part, link in the pinned comment, the eccentric red bike lady was back, tossed her bike on the ground, but from what I could see, the police didn't stand for it. And headed around it. The trooper actually, I noticed a couple of times, he's not needing to say anything, he's just slightly gesturing with the horse and they're getting it. Pennies drop instantly and they're moving out of the way. Which has got to be a positive, right? I mean, it's not a negative. Now, luckily, folks, I'm just looking around. She hasn't gotten back from the stables yet. Red bike lady.
Super.
So these two, they're probably going to bump into on Horse Gods Road. Straight in the box, and this gent pointed it out, and she's straight out of the box. Damn, he just dropped his McDonald's on the ground. Oh no, folks. I didn't want to fear the worst, but it was kind of inevitable, in all honesty. What I said about what I thought was going to happen is exactly what's happened. Remember I mentioned about her leaving, going around to get to the stables before the police? That's exactly what she did. And then, sorry guys, the camera works terrible. And then straight back out onto the main highway with the red bike to do it all over again with the next pair. This is definitely going to be, look, and now running over to the stables again. Damn, what do you do about a problem like that? Almost looks like the police are speeding up to try and get away, no? Yeah, it's so uncomfortable. Thank God it's far away in the distance. Sorry about the shoddy camera work, guys. It's never super stable when you zoom in like that. But if she's going to start following them around all the time, in the yard, when they've exited, up to the stables, I mean, what ultimately are they going to be able to do about that? It's a problem, no? Eccentric or not, or special needs, it's still a problem. Yikes. Imodio this side are probably relieved that she's left. It's absolutely chocker at this end. And the problem is now that those two police horses have exited the yard, we've only got, I think, the final three of the usual 7, 8 still to come from the palace. So I know shortly I'm going to hear that, whatever shout it is, behind me, and then just going to go back into the yard. I mean, it's almost impossible to film today. I'm not even exaggerating. Look at it. Uh-oh, touching the horse. Look at this. Actually went for the reins. The usual situation. Didn't take long, did it? Absolutely crazy. It's a very, 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 very large group of, what a surprise, Chinese tourists. They're adjusting to get closer, i.e. in the box. Timing on turning the camera around was impeccable, was it not? Very unusual though still to see anybody reaching out for the reins. In fact, thankfully, it's incredibly rare and unusual to see that. I'm completely sandwiched in by the group at this point. Madness. But the best bit about being here at this end now, against this bollard, is that I've got a beautiful view over Whitehall. So if anything all in red appears, I'll spot it instantly, regardless of the shout. She's going to get in trouble, this one. She just said to her friends, stand beside him. Nah. Now, the biggest problem with a lot of disrespectful people is how much junk gets left in the box. Crisp packets, lunch bags, etc. Just. Oh yeah, that happens. Yeah, that happens a lot. Yeah.
You sure?
To be honest, yeah, okay, yeah, it's a bit breezy, but the amount of junk on the floor, look at it. You think, I know it's not their fault, but you'd think they would send the stableman out, not only to sweep the box, which is completely full of horse, you know what, but also to deal with this rubbish. The look is not good. Got another filmer dude inside the yard, who gets very shy the second I turn the camera. What? I thought that was like a civil servant or someone important needing to get to work. It was an American tourist saying, excuse me, and pushing through the crowd because she couldn't wait to get the picture, which she did next to me. And to be honest, given how many people are just loitering, I mean, arguably so am I, but with a purpose. I understand why she did what she did. The troopers had a reasonably easy and straightforward first half, in all honesty. I'm not sure how it's going to last, looking behind me at the massive queues that are arriving. We've also got a cowboy. I'm hoping he'll come over. I mean, you've got to come on. Why would you wear a Stetson like that and not get a picture with the horse?
Thank you.
I'm pretty sure that's the half past. Yeah, it is. That's the half past bell. Damn, it's flying by. I'm going to go in a minute to the other end, simply because we've had very little time at the other box. But more importantly, as these groups keep arriving here and it gets more and more busy, there's going to be no space. Pickpocket? What do we think here, guys? It's very odd, isn't it? This guy in the bucket hat. Like a man bag, the luggage, the hat. Although, to be honest, most of them wear sunglasses. Many of we're getting pepper sprayed, but look at it. As I walk, how many people there are. Oh my goodness me. It's not really surprising that this troop has pulled them all, pulled the horse back, as all of these people are walking straight in front through the box without even bothering to focus. No, it's crazy. Consistently, look. There will be a lot of troopers, including the ones that we saw this weekend, who would not stand for that and would have started charging people coming through the box.
It's clearly a white.
It's like kids.
Yeah, it's complete chaos here, isn't it? It's just completely ridiculous.
It's like no respect.
Yeah, it's odd. Have a good day though. Interesting Chinese American, a lady and her husband there, who I could see are just bewildered by what they're witnessing here with. Yeah, he's saying behind her. I read about it, but wow. Yeah, the no respect. And you know what? There is not going to be any respect either, unless the rules are not only clearly outlined, but rigidly, uniformly, consistently enforced. I think we all agree on that. Police officers again. I can't see you know who, but you know what? I guarantee, if she's not still busy over at the stables, she's either on her way back to Horse Guards or lurking somewhere nearby, 100%. Oh, luckily enough, Mr. Yellow Cap on the left saved her and also pointed out the line. I can see, to be honest, from the look, the expression on his face, this trooper has had enough. He's just like, you know what, this is crazy. And he's not wrong. He's actually not wrong. They're now arguing about whatever it is vis-a-vis the line. It's funny, because in the winter when it's kind of quiet, but at the same time peaceful and relaxing to film here. I think, oh, I can't wait till the summer. You know, it's chaotic, but it's often fun, interesting people. I think this summer is the first in 4 years where I'm starting to think that something's going to have to change. Just look at it. I mean, the guy in the black is just. I don't think he can understand how there are so many stupid people here. And neither can I, in all honesty. I'm going to need to get a step ladder, guys, at this rate to even be able to film. The crowding's so bad that the only way to get from A to B is by going through the box at this point. What the hell? Who is screaming? Flipping hell. Even like the French tourists that are standing next to me are just like, they're shaking their heads in disbelief. I don't think I've ever seen as many stupid people in one place, ever. This is the French lady who just like... This one's a flipping tour guide as well, and she's in the box without getting told to move. Someone else is busy making a TikTok here with stupid music. Look at this. I mean, like, you literally could not make this up. Oh my, oh my. I can't do anything but laugh, folks, because you see how bad it is in front of the camera, but trust me, it's even worse like all around me. Just idiocy everywhere this morning. Pretty much the same as in part one, in all honesty. Okay, finally a few of the groups have moved on. There's a bit of space. The main crowd is at the other end. This trooper, I hate to say it, but something's wrong. You know what? You watch the video for yourselves, guys. You can see what I'm talking about. I'm not even going to say it. Right, back in the absolute mental crush of the first box. If I can, that is. I mean, big if. Look at the crowd. I'm fairly reluctant to be at this end, in all honesty. Now the good news is that, and possibly because of either of what I said, all the crowding, not one person has turned up with an umbrella among the usual group of clowns, spammers that is. If you're watching the BODYCAM version, guys, there's nothing I can do about people who stand right in front with their head blocking your view, other than wait for them to move. Actually, 1 second, folks. This group, we're just going to, sorry. That's a little bit better. They can't actually make their mind up though who's next in the line, because there is no line. It's just a crush and a mess.
Yeah, one of the horses went down and they reckon he probably fell asleep and he just fell. So he hit the emergency.
The lady with the ribbon though has been waiting patiently for a little while.
Yeah, and the horses are trained. Yeah,
Squeeze in here, guys, a little bit. Okay, she finally got forward to get her picture, and well deserved it is too. I thought he was going to boot him. I thought he was putting the horse over to boot him with the jackboot. This is what the trooper is looking at, guys. A few hundred people just randomly turned up. Why am I so pale? Why? I'm so pale. Because that's my genetic makeup.
Look at my tummy. That's how white I am. I think you're even whiter.
No, but you're like part Greek Latina, no?
Yeah.
Ah,
Still,
so,
I mean, look, that's
no, but I mean, come on, you'd expect to be a little darker, a little bit more Mediterranean.
no, but you'd expect to be dark.
Nah, never. Even after a month in Thailand, I was still this colour. What's Bro doing here on the left? They're getting closer. They both want to grab the reins or touch the horse. Especially this clown on the right. He's kind of getting egged on as well by his dopey friends. Like, duh. Is he thick or what? Actually, guys, ignore that. He is thick. Are you surprised about how many stupid people there are here, though? It's just completely mind-boggling, you know, how busy it is and how many idiots. Guys, look at the crowd. This is Monday, for goodness sake. It's not Saturday. I don't think the tourists got the memo. God, what's Friday going to be like and Saturday this week if this is Monday? You've seen some of the videos with the bike lady, the red bike lady, who comes along, throws her bike on the ground in the yard and pesters the police horses.
Oh.
She's here again this morning.
You know that get back. I thought I was recording while I was.
You forget.
That's why I still just record 24/7. Never miss a trick.
Okay, Habibi on the right is with the other dope that just reached out for the reins. Now, luckily we've got a decent-ish spot, and I'm not going to move from here because I'm completely surrounded. But more importantly, there are so many more people arriving on the left.
I missed that. I just can't believe that. I was like making sure I was going over her head.
To be honest, no one's filming anything clearly today with this many people. It's just absolute chaos now. It's really not good. Lucky they're closing soon. Oh, he's back. He's dopey. I really wanted the trooper to charge him. He's absolutely thick.
No, don't.
This guy there in the green t-shirt, just push him out of the way. What is he doing? I don't think he even knows what he's doing. The trooper's not doing a bad job, actually, of silently, but effectively, nonetheless, keeping the box quite clear. We're not seeing it at blues level, but keeping the box clear is what matters. Because you know what, guys, if there were a surge forward now and people started touching the horse, it would get out of control very quickly. And you know why? because there are no MOD officers at the front, not one. That's why we've got this chaos compared to Saturday, when it was a glorious little Swiss watch of discipline and enforcement. That's why there is no visible police presence at the front, even near the gates. So chaos ensues. Of course, Reed does not like it when people get a little bit too close, does he, at all?
Any other pause? Ching-ching? Okay.
Thank you.
Ching-ching? Tích cực đi, mài hơi đó, dấu quay mài hơi đó.
It seems they've finally settled down. They're starting to wait for one another to get a picture before the next one comes up. We're over here with his little Monaco cap.
1, 2, 3. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. Okay.
Okay, here comes the next Chinese group.
Okay, very good.
They can't decide though, actually, whether they're going up or is he going up. Who's next? Bro.
That was mildly terrifying. Well, actually we can crop though.
Okay, I think that the massive crush that we saw for the last, give or take 20 minutes, after the Palace lot arrived, is finally starting to subside. And it couldn't come early enough, honestly. It's getting uncomfortable. If you were a tourist and you arrived to see this, I don't think you'd ever want to come back again. I know a lot of you watching this say, hey, I wouldn't want to go and get stuck in that number of people. And you know what? You're right. Now, I'm not going to go back and film at the other end while the trooper was on in the other box because of what we saw. Not a good look, and I think you can all guess what I'm hinting at. Really not a good look at all, in all honesty. I'd say about maybe 2 or 3 people in total today
I'm just doing my thing.
have even got a half decent picture. Mental. The thing is though, we have, and you'll see this on the body cam when it gets put up, we have had a lot of feet over the line at this end. Not sort of, people overtly standing in the box without any enforcement, but a lot of feet have crept over today in the chaos. Okay, finally, a little bit of peace. Wednesday is going to be, if there are this many people and it's 35 degrees, Wednesday is going to be interesting, to say the least. There is a protest. I'm not sure if it's coming this way, but there's a protest outside Downing Street. You might just be able to hear the drums and the whistles in the distance. No idea what it is. No idea at all. Okay, finally someone that made an effort for their visit. Smashed it.
Joe?
I think the trooper's already thinking, I cannot wait to be done. He's got 8 minutes. The thing is, I think now that we're into full-blown tourist season with the British schools closed, I think what we saw this weekend is now going to be the norm every day of the week until the closure.
You can have your picture, but you mustn't stand inside that box and don't touch the horse. So they both try to touch the horse.
Stay with it, guys. It might be moving around a little bit. It's quite breezy, quite windy.
If you want to go and stand by the picture. Quick, quick. Yeah. Okay, folks. There you go. God bless you. I wouldn't see it. Try again.
Okay, so we can make sure we're out of the box.
All right.
Oh, that's good.
That is crazy, folks. The gent that you all heard on the microphone explaining to his small child about, you know, you can go up, don't go in the box, don't touch the horse or whatever, wasn't explaining all that to his child. He was explaining it to his child-size Thai wife that we just saw in the box. Oh my.
Let's get up right here.
Okay, Broman inbound. Actually, yeah, my picture's better than the photographer's picture. We're good, we're Ginger is brave being out and about in this heat without a hat. Trust me, I know. Okay, I'm going to predict the future. Pink blouse in the box, shout, wait for it. Okay, I was right about in the box. The only thing I wasn't right about is the shout. She's in the box. And she's more in the box. Exactly. Damn, as if there were not one with a pink top. Here's the second one. The thing is, sorry, what can he do that realistically? Okay, probably shout, but not going to maneuver the horse. She's curtsying this lady into somebody with a small child. That was so obvious. Again, body language. To be honest, the horse has done about 95% of the work of this, and Trooper has spoken up a couple of times, but way too many people are now starting to take the you-know-what. You can see it over there on the right. The good news is we will see the changeover and the 5th and 6th new face as part of this video before I finish it. As I started part 1 early, I got no issue with letting part 2 go its full course. Now the stableman's coming out to open up the doors, but for this, so far, this entire second part, no visible police presence at the front. That's why we've had most of the chaos. And that isn't a criticism of the MOD, police that is. It's the fact that if there isn't a visible presence, people, as we've seen, are likely to behave in a far worse way, pushing, shoving, standing in the box. Look at the difference with the enforcement on Saturday, troopers, police working together to keep all of the idiocy at a fair distance. But the second the super duper officer was taken off, nothing at the front here, no enforcement at all, zero. To be honest, I think that actually being stableman is probably on a hot, sticky, humid, disgusting day like today is the best option. I'd definitely prefer to be in your MTP uniform, wouldn't you, instead of ceremonial. I might pop into the yard. If it's not too busy, guys, I might pop into the yard for the changeover. Okay, so he's telling everybody to start getting back. Let me just keep an eye on the time, 1 second. The thing is, the officer who cleared the front before will be out again to clear the front, so I'm like, what do I do? Plus, I can't see at this point how busy the yard is, the line in the yard. One second, folks. I can't really see whether or not there is space on the line.
Ladies and gentlemen, just take a step away from the horse. That's 10 yards, 2 minutes of him being home.
See, imagine we'd had that in the past 59 minutes at this end. New horses are out. He's going to lose his temper with them in a minute if they keep pushing their luck. They run off. Guys, how long do you think it's going to be until the guard change occurs on a video and we see somebody turn up and toss a red bike on the ground in front of the guards on the horses? What do you reckon? Now, do you want the good news, guys, or the bad news? The criticisms on not on Saturday, at the end of last week, before the Blues took over, of people being allowed. What's this idiot doing? In the middle of the guard change. Look at this. I don't understand how the police have not spotted it and shut it down immediately. What's he doing? He did it on purpose. This stupid idiot clown did it on purpose, 100%. It was obvious straight away, plus the smirk at the end. Now imagine that was somebody, guys, this lot are going to get in trouble as well, look. Imagine that was somebody with malicious intent. He got that close to the horse and to the trooper. Not cool. To be honest, that was crazy. I'm not sure why the delay in responding to that, in all honesty. As I was saying before we saw the idiot march over to the box, I'm reasonably sure that when we had a lot of people going to the box last week with zero response, that it might well have been this troop. I say reasonably sure. There were two that looked like twin brothers, so it's impossible to be absolutely certain. But I've got a feeling it could be. It definitely is not the troop at the other end, I can tell you that. So we've got about, can't really see actually, hold on. Maybe 15 minutes left of this, give or take. Wild. And again, massive crowds. From the side onward, though, this bro, this guy. Brilliant. So I was going to say, from the side onwards, I'm starting to doubt whether it was the trooper that we saw before. This chap, although they're very similar looking, has a somewhat more pronounced chin. But I could be wrong. I think even if we got stills from both videos and compared them, we still wouldn't be sure. There are a lot of similarities, but there are also a lot of dissimilarities. How long is it going to be, though, until this lot decide to search forward in one go? For the moment, there's a beautiful space around the horse on the box, which, to be honest, I think would be the dream all the time. But we know why it can't happen, because they can't install anything on the public highway. Plus, the horses would injure themselves on it anyway if they had a meltdown. B for bonkers, people, I tell you. The stableman is having a chat with somebody who's got a special needs child in a pram. They're asking him questions and he's happily answering them inside the yard. Really nice to see that. I said before, didn't I, many times last year, that I think the key thing that's missing is some sort of liaison relationship between the military, this being a military property, and the public, the tourists, the visitors, the guests. Remember back to the glory early year and a half, 2 years, when we had Corporal of Force Chaplain, and he wasn't the only one, there were a few other officers that were very friendly. Even a captain would often come and speak with us. It made all the difference, because they would speak to the tourists, they would speak to the visitors, they would answer questions, they would post the pictures, and people loved it, because they understood that this was a military property and that everyone was at work. That's definitely what's needed, isn't it, folks? Some sort of, soft connection between, by soft I mean, okay, picked up the rubbish. By soft I mean not arguably a serving member of the armed forces, but a military liaison of some kind, or a PR person, or somebody that deals with army social media, or people that work in the HCAV museum. Come out, talk to the tourists, hand out leaflets, answer questions. You'd see a massive difference in the way people behave here, as we saw in those crazy early years, when arguably a lot of people, yes, there was a lot of touching, there was a lot of mauling of the horse, there was a lot of disrespect of the foot guard, but on the whole, and I've looked at quite a lot of old videos recently, I think a lot of people behaved an awful lot better in the crowd situations. Not universally, but often. Anyway, end of monologue. You know my thoughts on this, and who knows what might change or what might not change after refurbishment. Straight in the box. He's got to make his voice, he's telling him, but you can barely hear, almost inaudible, the verbal instruction from the trooper. Yeah, got to speak up, otherwise it's not even that they're not going to hear it. It's that if it isn't a little louder, then people that can't understand English, it's going to fly over their heads. At least if it's, with a bit of volume, it's going to attract their attention. They're going to turn around and realise from the body language that, hey, get back. People are virtually leaping forward at this point. Look. However, he did at least speak up. That's got to be something of an improvement, I think. I am leaning back toward my original statement now about it being the gent we saw on Wednesday, Thursday last week. I like the fact that bro's going fly fishing, this dude here, after his photograph at Horse Guards. Look at that, they magically lined up, tallest to shortest. Wait, and they're doing it again, I think. Oh no, only 2 of them now. These on left remind me of some Australian actor, maybe, Aussie actor. Okay, I'm moving slightly back and more central. I know what you're wondering. And the answer was yes, he was half in the box. Anyway, let's have a look at who's at the other end. As I said before, it's definitely not somebody that we've recognised as having difficulty speaking up at this end. I mean, what I'm coming to now. And I was right with that instinctively. In fact, yeah, this is a very, very strict and well-spoken trooper that doesn't stand for nonsense. Commanding presence, this guy. Same with the horse, to be fair. That glorious milky blaze. I didn't know that he's going to be super strict if anyone gets in the box. Bro is, I think, trying to read the sign to him over here. I don't know what is going on there at all. He's in his own world.
Oh my god!
Oh god, here we go. Yeah, Chad, you need to move.
Holy shit, what did I do wrong? Holy dude.
Okay, so that was Chad, this is Brian. I was convinced initially they were Aussies. I think Americans, no? I think. I like how quickly the trooper shut down before he started with what would have almost certainly have been acting up for the camera. The Chad, that is. I'm tempted to give them the name of the channel. But I'm not sure they'll be too appreciative of my commentary if they see themselves in the video.
Красиво. Все.
Красивее, which means that was beautiful. That's it. That's beautiful. That's it. That's beautiful. That's done. Bro, what? I don't know what he said. I mean, how many Chads have we had today in total? About 4. I lost count in this part, but there was, I think, one in part 1. That was at least a 3rd or 4th in this part. Like, what? That said, I did warn you all when when I got here for part 1 that it was almost certainly going to be idiots galore, and I was not wrong, was I, to be honest? Okay, we've seen a few like sort of respectful gestures EX or a former police officer from the US was very polite and respectful in his chat with the trooper, but most of it, back to that S word again, show, tourist that is, folks. Troopers been pretty good today, I would say, with enforcement. I mean, the very first trooper at the other end, outstanding as always. This gent, again, flawless. Now, the good news is that I'm pretty sure all the police horses are finished for the day. And if they're not coming back out, then neither's Cranky. Bing bong. That's the 15-minute bell. And we are getting very close, guys, regrettably, to the end of this part 2. I'm not going to lie, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I think today has been one of the most draining filming experiences ever. And I filmed hundreds of these videos. Just something about, I don't know, it's not even the tourists. I can't quite articulate why it has been, but it has been. But luckily, we managed to capture most of it in today's videos. So there's the upside. I think actually today, tomorrow, Wednesday, we'll probably see a very limited degree of police visibility here because it's hot and it's perfectly understandable why when we're in the 30s again, mid-30s by Wednesday, the police need to try to stay a little bit out of the direct sunshine. I get that, it's completely fine. Damn, I'm already missing Patio and Phuket, folks. And I'm not joking either. Damn, this bro looks super angry. Either that or it's withdrawal symptoms or both.
Es que usted está tensa. Yeah.
I'm still keeping an eye on the other end, bearing in mind we haven't got very long anyway. It's certainly settled down there. There's like space. Look, for the first time in almost 2 hours, I can wave my arm out, walk around, stretch my legs.
Thank you very much.
Try and get a little bit more center on. The difference between the trooper we're looking at now and his predecessor in the box could not be more stark.
Thank you so much.
It's starting to die down finally, folks, after 2 hours non-stop. I'll be finishing up in a few minutes. And if you're wondering, yes, she is a ladyboy. I knew that because they were speaking at the other end when they got the picture. But I noticed when I was in Thailand, the boys are often a lot better looking than the girls, which is a wild thing to say, but it's absolutely true. I'm seeing a couple of tennis visors and some spandex slowly approaching. I think actually, to be honest, the main reason we've seen far, far, far less of those groups I don't know what she's asking him. It's yes or no. I mean, if you can't talk, then it's neither, is it? It's neutral. So I was saying, I think the reason we've seen a lot less of the spandex crew is because it's very hot and sunny, and they don't like getting tanned. There's always like a status thing. I don't understand it, but being more pale is a big deal in certain countries. It's just weird. I'd prefer to be much darker, to be fair. Really nice and respectful, the young lady.
Line.
These will be our last few lucky punters, folks. And he bowed as well. Absolute top respect. They've got to be... No, actually, no, they're not. They're not. They're not Chinese, Japanese. Very, very respectful. Or, I don't know, maybe Chinese-Japanese mix. Bro's on his way to show his new work to Banksy, hoping to get a commission. Fantastic, to see this. She's definitely Japanese. Amazing. That almost cancels out 2 hours of morons and stupidness, does it not? Well, I mean, not quite, I exaggerate, but it certainly helps to tip the balance a little bit. Oh God, she's back. I'm just pretty sure the troop is still not going to answer any silly questions, though, no matter what.
Well, why don't we do first this one over here, okay?
And it's for their own good. Look, they're teeny weeny little ones being led through the box by the parents. I mean, God is having to do the parents' job at this point now. Anyway, that's a good spot to end it. Strict, no nonsense, very powerful voice, and more importantly, people take notice when he speaks. I'll be back soon, people. Maybe tomorrow, possibly Wednesday, we will see, but soon as ever. Out of here for now. What a mad 2 hours that was. Bye guys, back soon.